As if we didn't have enough stuff going on. There's something wrong with the 599. Apparently, he drove it low on oil. Tim told him not to do it.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Let's go.
But he did it anyway, and he was ripping this car around all over the place, kind of bracing for the worst right now because Dave was saying, well, it's making kind of a knocking noise. It is a spun bearing. Is it a lifter that's ticking? Hopefully there's no engine damage. These engines are like $30,000 used. I do not want to do an engine swap in this thing. Not only do we not have the money right now because they're saving a bunch of money that they're gonna have to put as a down payment for a new building when they find one, hopefully soon. I got a lot of stuff to do on the F12. I want to get that thing running. I'm gonna check the oil here and just make sure that it doesn't look like tar or there's a metal shaving stuck to the dipstick. That's gonna be step number one. Ferrari engines are very strong. They're very good engines, but any engine that you run without oil or without enough oil is going to destroy itself. It doesn't matter if it's a $3 million engine or a $500 engine, it will eat itself. I'm not sure what Dave was thinking driving this thing around without oil, but I don't know what Dave's thinking a lot of times.
I'm hoping it's just a tick like Mike said and not a knock. Gotta fire it up and kind of hear what it's doing.
Fire it up, see how it sounds, maybe shut it off immediately. Maybe if it sounds okay, let it warm up a little bit and try to hear what's going on. But dude, it's in like, oh, it's all the way over here. It's super awkward. Like, it's so far away from the latch.
Biggest red thing ever, still been fighting.
Well, it's funny, they paint it red like you can see it underneath that little crack in the hood, like that's gonna help you.
It's so weird. Like it looks so out of place.
It's a big paddle.
Let's check the oil.
Well, it doesn't look like it's super dark. It is a dry sump system. Tank sits on the side and then there's hoses connecting to the engine. Inside the engine, there's an oil pump and it's a multi-stage oil pump. So some of that pulls the oil out of basically the oil pan, but it's not really an oil pan. It's more of a plate on the bottom. So it's not made to hold oil in there. It all gets sucked out and put in the tank. But when the car sits, the oil from the tank drains back through the oil pump into the engine. So sometimes you'll see nothing on the dipstick, but the engine still has a lot of oil. So you have to start it up and you have to check it warm to get a good reading. This isn't telling us a ton, but it doesn't look like it's burnt. Doesn't smell like it's burnt, so that's good.
How does it smell, Sean?
I
trust my
Sniff it. Get a good whiff.
No speckles, so that's good.
Another issue with these cars, and especially this one, is the battery draw. I just thought about that right now, and I don't know if this thing's gonna start because it's been sitting for a few days. We're probably gonna have to put the jumper pack on it. Let's see. It's got some power. Well, there's a lot of lights on the dash. The fuel is empty. Typical Dave. So we're gonna have to go buy fuel for this thing just to run it. Just to be able to check the oil level. I think we're gonna do an oil change on this anyway, just to make sure, because if there's something wrong with this engine and there is any metal shavings in the filter, in the oil, it's better to know about it now when it's still rebuildable. If it does spin a bearing and throw a rod or something, it will literally destroy the entire engine. The piston will break off, the rod will throw, it'll hit the head, the rod's gonna hit the side of the block, and it's gonna be done. I think we might actually run out of gas before the oil temp's high enough, so I think we're just gonna drive down the street to the gas station.
Put some gas in the van too, because that thing empty.
The truck's empty, the van's empty, this is empty. I'm guessing the Hummer's empty too.
We need some gas.
Yeah, all right, let's go.
Is this not working now?
Typical Dave. He's like, oh, by the way, everything's broken on the 599. All right, lift kit doesn't work either, so add that to the list. So far, I think it's running okay. It's still, well, it's just about up to water temp now. Oil's still pretty cool. I was really hoping that there's nothing wrong with this engine. I mean, that is the heart of this beast. And all these mods that we want to do to it, put the handbrake in, all the external stuff, add some angles so we can slide this car around properly. All that's going to be put on the back burner if there's something wrong with the engine, because if it doesn't run or if it's not running right, what's the point of doing all these mods to it? Putting this on the company card, Mark, or am I paying for this?
Thanks, Mike.
All right, how much do you think it's gonna take to fill this thing up?
I'm saying it is a touring car, so it's probably a pretty big tank. So I'll say 110.
I would say like 150, but
Really?
yeah, 'cause it's probably gonna take 22 gallons or something. But also the price did come down on gas a bit, $4.70 a gallon. It's not too bad right now.
That's
Thing
pretty
sounds
sweet.
good, man. Yeah, I love Porsches. That sound is so unique, and they just drive so well. I honestly love the engineering on Porsches, how they're put together, how they're designed, how they're thought out. When you're working on it, for me at least, it just seems like my way of thinking. When I'm pulling the engine out or something, I'm like, oh yeah, we should do this, and then you do that and it comes out. It's not like, oh man, they put all these extra things in the way, and you can't get to this stuff without like pulling everything out of the car. And German engineering is pretty awesome, I think.
We're getting up there, Mike.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe 120-ish. I don't know. I don't know how big this tank is, honestly. It could be like 24 gallons. We're gonna find out today.
All right, Mike, we're over 100.
Over 100.
There we go, 105.
22 gallons. No wonder Dave didn't want to fill this up. It takes forever. Put that little stallion back on there. All right, back to the shop. All right, we're back. Oil's up to temp.
You ready?
Ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
What do we do?
You gotta get it up.
Come on.
Get it up.
Hold on,
Okay, hold
timer.
on. Hold on. Whoa, you know what you're doing now.
I know where it is now. It's actually not too low. So warmed up, it's about halfway between the minimum and the maximum. Probably a quart low. I'm not too worried about that. A little speck of metal right there though. Is that metal? Yeah, I think it is metal. It's not a bubble. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a filter for this thing, do an oil change, drain the oil to see what's going on. I don't see metal flakes in the oil. It's never a good sign. Take a run to the Ferrari dealership, pick up some oil, pick up a filter.
What are we gonna do with this thing?
Take it with when we move.
Do some Bernies.
Dude, look at the tires.
I didn't know they made. Damn, that thing's about to blow.
I was waiting for it.
Yo, look.
I still got
crazy.
another 100,000 miles. The tread's still good. Don't worry about that sidewall.
Woo!
Dude, those spacers
Look at them
Dude, that makes
spacers.
it look so much better. So we just threw the spacers on yesterday, and instead of like this massive gap, filled it up, and it looks way better.
What were those in the rear? 20s?
20s in the rear, yeah, 15s in the front.
He could have went 30s.
I mean, we could probably do another 5 without it rubbing.
Unless you pulled out some camber.
Yeah, we probably do need to do an alignment. He's got these snow tires on here still, and apparently they're like, I don't know, almost $1,000 a piece. Yeah.
I was about to say burn them up because they smoke, but
Yeah. Apparently they're real pricey. I know he's working on the wide body kit, trying to get that thing, and that's going to be like, I don't know if it's 4 inches wider on each side. That's what Dave said.
Yeah, he said it's 4 inches per side, 8 total. That's pretty wild.
That's crazy. That's like semi-truck width almost. This thing's already wide.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. If it is that wide, it's not going to fit in any trailer that we know of. The thing's going to be, you need to put like skinnies on it.
Well, I mean, it's not a race car.
That's true. It's just going to look like a race car.
Sell out.
You know, we're going to the Ferrari dealership, so we figured wear the appropriate attire, so bust the watch out. Mark's
Stop the hat.
Mark's got that.
Bust out that. Where's your Ferrari stuff, Sean?
Broke, dog.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sitting in the back.
That's what I thought. See you later, bro.
Got some cool cars here today. Let's take a little peek at. Ooh, this thing's low. Oh yeah. Sorry, Dave. We actually haven't been here in a while. It's probably a good thing because we tend to spend a lot of money when we come here.
Sean, that's all you do.
Oh man,
It's not. It's definitely
Oh,
not.
you.
$95 for that premium leather hat.
It looks
right
like leather, yeah.
there.
But definitely not me.
A little leather on your dome.
That seems real sweaty.
You gotta do it. Do it. Bang.
Telling us the secrets. All right, let's go. All right, we got our filter, but now we got to get some oil. I didn't want to pay the Ferrari tax on their oil over there.
It's a little keychain, like a little, you know, if you need to add some, just.
At the shop, dog.
Yeah, dude, they got little peripherals. Damn, that's small as hell.
The wraparounds. Look at that. Stevie Wonder. Dude, that's crazy. Well, we got some oil. We're down 3 quarts. They only had 10, so we gotta stop again. Another O'Reilly's to pick up the rest. Nothing's easy, man. All right, stop number 3.
3?
Yep, Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, 3. Oh,
Yeah.
look.
Woo!
He's got more camber, though.
A little bit more. He's lower. The lower you go, the more camber you get.
Yeah.
Like I just want to raise the suspension so we don't scrape. To go through all these menus. I hate these touchscreens on cars. I just want buttons. And this thing's got like 50 buttons in it, but it's not for any of the important stuff.
Would you like for me to heat up your
Wait,
armrest?
did it raise?
I think it did.
Because it's
coming down now.
We're going back down. We're going back down.
Are we?
Yeah, raise it, raise it, raise it, raise it. Raise it.
Raise. Are we going up?
Now we're going up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we're going real slow. Oil. All right. Let's get this done. We gotta pull this filter and then see if we can open it, but that might be an issue because I think that this filter has a metal casing and I do not have a proper oil cutter. They actually have an oil filter cutter. It kind of looks like a can opener. It goes on the bottom of the filter and it's got sharp round wheel. Goes around and it'll cut it open without leaving any metal shavings. If we try to open the other filter up, we're just gonna put a bunch of metal shavings into the filter and then we're not gonna be able to tell what's in there. So we just have to try to drain the filter and see what comes out of it. See if we can see any metal shavings. Now we gotta jack this thing up. Look good there.
Always.
Chilling.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She gone. I think the F12 chassis is quite a bit stiffer than this one. You can really tell, like opening the door on the lift, both ends are kind of pulling down, so it's like flexing. Open the door and it's like sticks. Doesn't do that when it's on the ground, on the suspension. Not as stiff as the newer cars, that's for sure.
Give you a hand? Oh, my back.
You heard we needed some tech support, huh?
Yeah, I'm here to fix this piece of Ferrari, as usual.
They always break.
Ferraris are actually for parking, which is why this one is broken, because it was driven. So that's
First
the deal.
mistake.
Yeah, you see we got the new Technica Verde Scandal.
Beautiful.
We're currently draining the oil, seeing if there's any metal shavings in there.
Because Damon drove it?
Both Damon and Dave both drove it very hard. It was a little low on oil. It's got a little tick noise now.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah.
That's nice. Job security, at least. If all the cars weren't broken.
Yeah,
then
they
wouldn't.
keep, they keep buying more and more. So.
Right. I love rich people. That's what's so great. They're really rich.
Oh, that's tight.
You gotta torque it. Torque it. I've worked on a lot of Ferraris. I mean, I've been underneath here quite a bit. I can tell that that's the transmission. And I normally wouldn't recognize the transmission on a Ferrari, but usually they're broken, so it's easy to spot. Is that the engine block?
That's like the dry sump tank.
Yeah.
The dry sump
Pan,
tank?
that's the pan right there, basically.
I had a
and then,
girlfriend I used to call a dry sump tank. And
nice girl.
Yeah, she was really nice.
Form.
Dude, you got to have the proper.
Look at the
proper
form.
Watch it. Right, get it up higher there.
Yo.
Are you ready?
Oh. Yeah. Look at that.
Look at that backwards.
Look at that.
Get that spin.
Damn. Oh.
He does
Tricks.
it all.
Essa got the tricks. Yo, that's a lot of oil.
Look at that magnet. No, I don't see any metal on there.
I see a lot of oil.
A lot of oil. That's good. It's dirty. It's definitely time for a change. I don't see shavings. Uh-oh.
Which is apparently what you do every time you drive it. I said, what happened to it? He said, Dave drove it.
Dave, what did you do to this thing?
Dude.
Oh,
Dave, it's bad.
flashing red oil light.
It's knocking.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Whoa.
Oh, my God, it's peeing.
By the way, that oil's dirty.
Yeah.
God. Dave, what did you do to the girl?
Just send her for I'm 9 minutes ride every 6 months.
Nice. Did it warm up there in Canada? Oh, no, not good. Are you at Costco or something?
I just got out of the insurance. I had no insurance in my car because it expired. I didn't notice. I had no license on me, so I had to go get my license and get insurance.
So even in Canada, you're a criminal, not just in HB.
Oh, I'm a criminal here. You have no idea, honey.
57.
57 miles. Fresh.
57 miles, not kilometers.
Yeah, the real deal.
I got Dave crying on camera. Look, check it. Dave is such a sissy. Look at him. He was literally tearing up. I mean, look at that. It's just terrible.
You hate to see it.
I hate to see it. Hate to see it. So yeah, this one turned out good, man.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I love this cover.
Yeah, that's how mine is too with that all carbon. But
Yeah.
we got to freaking PPF this thing.
Oh, for sure.
I'd PPF my entire one, but it's so expensive.
It is.
Where could we take it?
PFS?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think they do it.
There's a guy named Ryan or something.
Brian, is it?
Brian?
I think it's Brian.
Brian?
Mike got the
Okay,
special
cool.
service tool oil filter wrench right here. About to take that.
The jaws of life. This is the only tool you got to use on the Black Stallion right here. You need a hammer and a big wrench. Oh, little flakes in there, huh? Oh, that's a big chunky right there.
Oh man.
That's actually some pretty big shavings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Goldschlager.
Yeah, it's pretty shiny and reflective in there. Some pretty big
Do
chunks.
they have Goldschlager? Oh, I just spit in there too.
a little extra something?
Yeah.
So it's
That's not metal.
Oh, that one
that
is-
was metal.
that one picked up.
That freaking light is in there. It's trying to wrap my eyes. Jeez, Mike.
What's
You
up?
barely
Sorry.
see- It's a reflector out of the oil.
That's aluminum.
Yeah. So we got one piece of steel and the rest are aluminum flakes.
I mean, I always put a little bit of steel inside my oil.
It's regenerative steel.
Yeah.
Just, finds
Well,
the
no,
cracks
'cause
and
it-
just seals
yeah,
them
it
up.
fills them up.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, if you have like a crack in your block.
Well, I don't know. There's some
I mean, just put oil back in it. It's a Ferrari. Who cares?
flaky bits.
Some chunks.
Big chunks.
I blame Sean. If he wasn't in here welding all the time, we wouldn't have all these flakes.
Man, it's tight. It is really, really tight though. Oh, why is it still so tight though? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, okay, there we go. It's starting to turn. Like normal turns. Let me get it in my hand now.
Oh, is that the oil filter?
Yeah. There we go.
Get back. That's the oil filter.
Here, you should help him get it.
Okay. Oh God, I just stepped in oil. Oh my God. You're gonna have to clean that up, Mike.
I'll have to wait for Tim to get back here. Tim
Oh
can
my
clean it
God.
up.
That's disgusting. Do you think there's more shavings in there?
Yeah, but we can't open it up, unfortunately.
Well, with a Ferrari, you don't really ever have to change the oil because you don't drive the damn thing anywhere. So they were like, forget it. Just put it in a hard place because you're
One-time use.
one-time use. It's got 8 miles on it. Yeah,
I'm gonna take that pipe off.
So Mike loves working on these cars.
Like I said, I'm a fan of Porsche engineering. Ferrari engineering, not so much. Out of the way. Whew.
There it is.
Can't see any shavings in there, but we had some shavings directly out of the bottom of the engine. Get a little clean oil on there. If we were putting the filter on, the filter went straight up, then we'd fill it with oil first. But since it's sideways, it would all just spill out, make a giant mess. I don't like messes. I hate messes. We just want to give you an update. Yeah, so we drained the oil, and there were some metal shavings in there. A few flakes. No, real.
I noticed it was ticking. What's ticking from?
It like the ticking sounds like it's valve train lifters probably.
How much did you actually find metal? You just messing with you for YouTube right now.
No, we really found metal in there.
A lot? Enough to be concerned about?
Well, we can't pull the oil filter open because we don't have the correct tool to cut it open because it's a metal housing. Most of it was not metal. There was one flake that we picked up with a magnet. The other ones were aluminum. So I don't know, it's hard to tell where they're coming from, but we can't pull the filter apart because if it's a metal housing filter, so if we cut it, we don't have the right tool basically to cut it open. Otherwise we'll put metal shavings in it and we're not gonna be able to see, the difference.
Can you guys try to find a used 599 motor just to have in case?
Yeah, I looked. I found a couple. I didn't really look into it, but yeah, I found one with like no intake manifold, just basically a bare block for like 30 grand.
30 grand?
30 grand.
No, cars are worth like 100 grand.
Not in the US.
Can we rebuild it if we need to then?
I mean, at this point, yeah, it's probably a 15 grand rebuild.
It's my fault when it had the oil flashing light on.
Yeah, oil flashing light's bad. I don't know if it was the oil pressure light or if it was the oil level light that was on.
Oh, I never even thought of that. We went out and we were shooting flames at that car meet.
Yeah.
If there's pressure, that's
Mark was there and Tim was there and Tim said it was okay.
It's Tim's fault.
Tim's fault. But right now, I mean, all we can really do is just put the new filter in, put the oil in it. We drove it around, we filled up the tank.
How low was it?
It only looked like it was about a quart low.
Why do we have these filters on right now? Why do we have this? Can you do it? As you can tell, I'm in full dad mode right now, so
Yep.
you guys get back at it. But
All right.
thanks for the update.
Yeah, but it still runs, it still drives. We'll run it a little longer. I'll pick up that oil filter wrench from my shop this weekend and bring it over here so we can cut that filter open and see how bad it is.
That sucks. I love the 599.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Maybe a rodent chewed a wire.
Inside the engine.
Like a
All right, well, enjoy your snowy days over there. I guess Dave took that pretty well. I mean, the car still runs, not blown up, so we just have to wait and see. Pull the filter open, see how much metal is in there, and then make a decision off of that if we're gonna tear this engine apart, see what's going on with it, if it's bearings. It's not my car though, so that's the good news. With my car, and it was a $30,000 engine, I would not be smiling right now. All right.
Oh, you suck! How high can you go?
That high. So to check the oil, I got to start it up and let it warm up. Also, since we changed the filter is empty. Build up some oil pressure, get some oil in there. It says you got to rev it up to 4,500 and hold it for 45 seconds. Get the oil all out of the engine and into the dry sump tank. So fire this thing up. We'll let it warm up for a little bit. Because the oil's so clean now. But we have the appropriate amount of oil in here, finally. So knowing where that line was, it was 2 quarts low. All right, oil change is done. Gotta keep that stallion clean. Get close.
See that wheel work, Mike? Go, 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 go.
Yeah. I need one of those like little.
Why though?
There's smoke.
I got to give it the proper test because I know that's what Dave's going to do on it. So if it revs and it doesn't blow up, I think we're good to go. We're good to go for now, at least. I mean, I think until we pull the filter apart and see like how bad that is, like how much metal shavings there are in there.
Washed out the cylinder walls?
I don't know, those flakes didn't look like.
But like, what's the cylinder wall? It's like a coating? It's like one of those
No,
deals?
this actually has steel sleeves in it. Those little flakes that are aluminum, I have no idea where those would come from. Especially like after we pulled apart the F12 motor, we found the same thing. Like we found metal shavings in that motor, but obviously that thing's been driven super hard with the turbos on it being, you know, normally aspirated engine with the turbos on it, like beat like crazy. Obviously there was a chance of like stuff getting in during fabrication also. But with this one, the engine is completely stock. Filters are stock. It's got all that stuff on it. Was it smoke or was it just moisture?
No, it was smoke.
Smoke?
Oil smoke.
No, perhaps. The glass are kind of dirty, but it is a little bit foggy in here, a little smoky in here.
No, like when you were revving it too, it was like puffing some smoke. Yeah. That's why I was thinking cylinder walls maybe.
Enough with the oil change. I don't know. At this point, it's like up in the air. Is there a problem with the engine? Maybe. Is it something that's going to come back and bite us later? Bite Dave later, maybe, when he's driving it? As long as it doesn't blow up when I'm driving it. That's all that really matters. So I think we can start, getting back to the mods on this car, to the exciting stuff. We actually have a handbrake coming for this thing, so we can get that going. We're gonna do the rear diffuser. We're gonna do some sort of ducktail. I'm not sure about doing it out of aluminum. That would look, I think, kind of cheesy on this car. I think the hood louvers, the dive planes look cool. The front splitter we can make. The rear diffuser, no problem. A couple little flicks and stuff here and there to make it look really aggressive. Ducktail, I feel like we need to find a carbon fiber one or something that is a three-dimensional shape rather than a flat panel.
The weird thing is this, it's molded in, or it's
Yeah, there is. I think there's a Vorsteiner one, but they don't make them anymore. So they had they have a carbon one that comes up that is actually on a car that was at Gintani when we were over there.
Is it a three-piece one where it splits onto here, or is it just the middle? I feel like that would be weird if it's just the middle.
It hangs off the side, so it's on here, but it comes down a little bit. Yeah, and basically hangs over here. That looks really good. So I'm trying to find one of those used. They're hard to find. I don't think they made a ton of them, which is probably why they discontinued it and stopped making those kits. They had a carbon fiber front piece. They had side skirts that were carbon. A lot of little pieces that made the car look way more aggressive and way cooler, in my opinion. I think we can make it look pretty good. I just don't think a big GTU style wing really fits this car, especially with what we're gonna do with it. It's gonna be we're gonna drive around the streets and then slide it around, and big GT wings. I don't know, it just doesn't fit this body. It's so rounded that a square wing.
Dude, the back's pretty ugly.
It's kind of bulbous.
It's just an ugly car. This, fake pillar right here.
I don't understand the design there. It could be aerodynamics. The air might actually come through there and really do something, but I don't know. It does seem like an add-on piece that they were that might look cool, but then it didn't. Yeah, it does. There's definitely smoke on startup, and then it went away. I didn't see a lot as you're revving it, but the exhaust is coming out so fast. But go give it a couple more blips. Oil smoke on startup is kind of weird though, when it's warmed up. That's not normal.
Valve train.
But
Valve seals.
But valve seals,
when it sits, it'll drip in.
yeah, but that's usually when it's
start up.
cold. When it's cold and the valve seals get hard and it sits overnight, then the oil will drip down the valve and into the cylinder.
Cause Jay-Z's just notorious for that. And dude, at the track, it'll be, do a session, come back in, turn the car off,
Yeah.
and then turn it back on and move it 3 minutes later, and it just
Smokes like that?
smokes. So valve seals could be, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's Dave's car.
It's Dave's car. It's the tune that's on this thing also is crazy aggressive.
But that's for the other thing I was thinking about, washing out the cylinder walls, because if he's
All that fuel.
if he's dumping all those flames
Yeah.
that night, and it's just dumping fuel in the cylinders, then yeah.
You have the oil and it's all on the bottom, but the oil still sticks to the sides of the piston walls and the cylinder walls. With all that extra fuel being dumped in there, it can clean, basically the fuel is like a solvent, so it's gonna wash the cylinder walls down and put fuel into the oil. That thins the oil out, that's not good. But yeah, you can have some serious damage on the cylinders and the rings and the pistons if the oil is getting washed out. So tons of revving, flame shooting means a ton of fuel is just constantly being dumped.
Ton of heat,
Lots of heat, yeah.
lots of friction.
Yep, and then a lot of heat in the valves too, because the exhaust valves are basically open while the combustion is happening and blowing the fire out past the valve. So the valves are getting super hot. Cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, which could definitely be burning up the seals.
All of that makes sense.
Yep, you know what? It's Dave's car. Like you said, change the oil, Dave. You're good to go. Go ahead and rip it.